That's what you want to shoot for, boys. If you want to get good results, in the game. And if you don't want to get good results, then don't watch my fucking channel because it's impossible to watch my fucking channel and not get good results. Because I'm the best that ever did. Okay? I don't really work out. I like to say my workouts for sex. You know what I mean? I'm having sex so much that I'm able to fucking get enough working out, enough push-ups, enough fucking ab work, just digging these holes. You know what I mean? I don't have to go to the gym. Sometimes I'll do a little set of push-ups just to fucking inject some fucking endorphins into my day. But for my standard fitness routine, I don't really have to do that because I get such a workout digging these holes down. I'm fucking these holes to sleep, I just fuck these holes to sleep. And that works out very, very well in terms of a fitness regimen. Okay, but that's the advanced game. All right. What you hear a lot is pickups all fucking numbers game. You shouldn't focus on your batting average, your shooting percentage. This is a crock of shit. And I'm gonna give you the arguments for why you shouldn't focus on your shooting percentage, your batting average. I'm gonna tell you why that's all bullshit. You need to measure your progress in pickup, just like any fucking where else. Okay? Let's talk about the reasons why people say you shouldn't focus on your batting average. The first one you hear is because it makes you needy. If you're going in and you're looking for results and you're too outcome dependent, then yes, that could make you needy. That's a valid argument to a point. The argument that being like, if you're willing to walk away, then it's less needy, then there's value to the argument. All right? The second is that given very argument, which has less validity to it, is that by having an outcome and having an idea that you're trying to win the interaction, that you're somehow dehumanizing the girl and becoming misogynistic. I don't buy that one. If you like the girl, you should be trying, fool. And a third one, which most people don't talk about, that I'd like to add to the discussion, a counterpoint against my own argument, is I want a full disclosure, full honest debate, Todd B style. And if you're focused on your pickup, the batting average, you might not approach. There's another argument why you shouldn't worry about it, because if you're sitting around, the girl I'd like to talk to, I think he's a little tough, that might mess up my batting average. You might not approach, and that might mess up your behavior. I'm in the record book from a shooting percentage point of view, but I think that's kind of an indication that something was fucked up with my relationship between my coach and I. Okay, and let's talk now about why these arguments aren't quite as compelling as you make and what the strong counter arguments to these are. There's two arguments for why you should focus on the ratio. The first is practical, the second is emotional. Let's focus on the practical. On that side, there's not just a quantitative difference, but a qualitative difference in your results if you have a better ratio. And here's what I mean. Let's say you have a ratio of like 100. You get a success one times out of every 100, like 1%. So pretty soon you're not going to be able to go back to the same clubs. And certainly in the club, you're going to have a very bad reputation. It's going to be very, very bad for yourself. It's not going to work very, very well. You're going to be bouncing from place to place, finding new girls, etc. On top of which, if you're getting a success rate of 1 in 100, what do you think the odds are that 1 in 100 that thinks, oh, okay, I'll go with him, is actually the hottest, most desirable, in-demand girl in the place? Probably very, very fucking low. Okay? Every other girl rejects you, and the hottest one's like, yes, please, what are the odds of that? It's just not fundamentally going to happen. So, on the other hand, someone that gets a lower ratio, like the top guy, would get maybe 1 in 10, 1 in 3 for a really, really top guy doing well on his game. If that's your ratio, you can go pick a couple of the hottest girls in the place and have a very good chance of actually getting one of them and having a chance of actually settling with those girls and getting one that'll take you. Also, if you look at those girls and you look at the ratio, the difference of the ratio, let's say that, for example, you get a pretty good guy gets a 1 in 10 ratio and a guy that's shitty gets a 1 in 100 ratio. Well, that's for across the board with all girls. As you go up to the hottest girls, it's going to expand that difference, okay? So for the guy that's pretty good, it goes from 1 in 10 to 1 in 15. When you go to really hot girls, for the girls, instead of maybe 1 in 100, it goes to 1 in 1,000 and 1 in a fucking million. As in, his skill set just isn't good enough to get those girls, and he's banging his head against the wall. But life, these people sometimes become school shooters, mass shooters. We don't want that out here. We're trying to stop that. So, if you fundamentally don't have a skill set to work there, you need to work on your skill set and improve. Which brings me to this idea of measuring results. If you go out and suddenly you're getting girls more often than before, you'll know that what you're doing is working better. If suddenly you're getting girls less often than what you're doing before, you know that whatever you're doing is working worse. But if you're not measuring and you're not worrying about it, and you're not even thinking about it, then how in the hell are you possibly ever even going to know if what you're doing is working, if you're on the right track, and if you're improving? Now imagine if you went to a training and you were like, we're not going to take any measurements with someone who teaching finance, we're not going to worry about what your return on investment is. Nobody improves. Nobody, improves yourself without measuring the results to a certain extent. So on a tangent, it's not just qualitative, it's qualitative. It's a life difference having a smaller ratio than a bigger ratio. And number two, you got to measure your results if you're going to improve. So that measures the quantitative, the sort of practical side of things. But a lot of the arguments for maybe why you shouldn't focus on your batting average, these esoterical, spiritual arguments that are this self-helpy, new people charged, blah, bullshit. From an emotional, even spiritual standpoint, the objections there would be the first one I talk about is that it's this idea that it takes to humanizing or takes the fun or joy out of the game. First of all, I'll give you a sports metaphor out of this. In sports, you're very concerned about winning. Does that take the joy out of the game? Is it play tennis? Is it more to play a point and actually play the match, or is it more fun to hit the ball around? Playing the game and having a little competition actually brings more joy. It makes it richer. It makes it more interesting on a very, very fundamental level. As to the argument that it's dehumanizing to the girl, but you're not taking her into account, that sounds really good on paper. That sounds really good in an armchair theory, because we all know girls don't quantitate men and assign numbers and look at their fucking profit and loss sheet. However, that argument doesn't add up, because girls can sense the gin and they can sense when you're not being real and you're not paying attention to it. If your goal is to get a result, being that way is fundamentally going to hurt you. Being competitive demands that you pay attention to the girl, demands that you take her into account, demands that you make a win-win solution. Because that is one of the fundamental principles of winning a game. So armchair theory is it's not taking her into account. That sounds great if you've never been in the field. If you've been in the field and you see the reactions you get, girls that don't give a fuck about them, you won't believe that for a fucking minute. So you need to care about the fucking outcome. You need to have that testosterone and that fire and that energy and that chi fucking in these interactions. As far as the neediness interactions, this is an interesting one. So this requires sort of the philosophical approach that I would suggest. which is that you need to monitor this, but not be too worried about it. Fundamentally, here's what I want you to do philosophically. I want you to accept where you are for this moment, but don't accept staying there. Let's say that you just start playing basketball, you don't know how to make a shot at all, right? Now, if you go out expecting to make a good result, and every time you miss the basket, you're going to get pissed off and you're going to be very, very upset with yourself. If you can accept that, you know what, I'm just starting, I'm probably not making good results. However, you should also not accept still sucking 6 months of year from now to the same degree. So, don't be focused on attaching your ego to how good am I. Attach your ego to the extent that you're going to attach it to that am I improving? Am I growing? Am I making positive steps? Right? So attach your sort of step work in the process to the process, not to the outcome exactly. Accept if you suck, but don't accept continuing to suck. So in terms of batting average, be aware of your batting average, but don't hate yourself for it. So if your batting average is 1 in 100 or even 1 in 500 right now, that's okay, as long as it's eventually 1 in 250, 1 in 100, 1 in 50, 1 in 10, and then 1 in 3 when you get advanced level games. As long as you're measuring it. The key is monitor it, but don't be attached to it, and don't monitor it down to the fucking spread point, the fucking decimal point, spreadsheet. You won't have a generalized idea of it. Generalized idea of whether you're doing that or not. It's kind of like the idea of whether you're doing training. Maybe you don't want to monitor your weight every single fucking day, but you should be able to look in the mirror a month later and see some fucking progress, boys. Okay? You can't like check your batting average every single fucking day. When I was in high school, I knew my fucking average almost every game. I averaged 22 years in a row. You want to stop worrying about your batting average keeping you from approaching. Compare your batting average in different situations. If you're doing an approach all style of game, or you're doing a sniper style game, you're only going. Once a girl gives you a choosing signal, you want to do monitoring and compare it to in the past when you've done that kind of game, when does eye contact was mine. So if you're living in reality and using a valid symbol, this idea of trying to attention to see the results of emotions will happen. Also, again, if you're aware of it, exactly you're not emotionally attached to your body habits. Like you want to be aware of it for the sake of the process, but not for the sake of feeling great about yourself. You understand that? You do need to be aware of it. You need to monitor it, but otherwise, how do you make progress? How do you aware of it? The main goal is to improve your fucking batting habits. Just not a numbers game. I don't want to fuck 1,000 girls by approaching a million. I want to fuck 1,000 girls by approaching 2,000 to 3,000. You want to cut that ratio down to the point where you get successful much more regularly, much more often. And I want to fuck higher value girls too, out of that 3,000. And remember, after you get the girls down, you're going to be giving yourself a chance with the hotter girls, because when that ratio is insanely high, you're only going to be getting the shitty girls because you're not a shitty game. I'm going to do with the shitty girls, bro. I'm a big game hunter.
Turn left on Geary Street.
I fucked actresses, I fucked models, I fucked heads of state, I fucked princesses, I fucked, stars in the fraternity, stars in the fucking sororities, I fucked sports stars. Bro, I fucked some fucking high values. Let's talk about how to disqualify. Today I want to talk very briefly about one of the most important misunderstood concepts in the game, and that's disqualification. A lot of people think they know what disqualification is, and a lot of people are wrong. Disqualification is taken. A lot of people think disqualification is negative, something you say to lower self-esteem, something that's teasing, or it's like I say they have a small penis, or saying they're unworthy, and all of these kind of are in the realm of disqualification, but none of them really can all disqualification is and what it's meant to do. Okay, so let's go step by step. In nagging idea is a disqualifier because it's essentially like saying, when you disqualify yourself, that's very different. It's not about lowering your value, it's about lowering your value. I've seen it done, and you can lower the Bill's value, ironically. But another form of disqualifying is very, very useful is the false cycle. Pulling the escalation, like, yeah, I got to get out here in a minute. But anyway, these are all forms of disqualifiers. In order to understand disqualify, you need to understand the purpose of a disqualifier. The purpose of a disqualifier is this. In game, you want to escalate. You're starting from neutral, your goal is sex. In that process, you're going to have to get physical. You're going to have to show interest. That's problematic, though, because when you start showing interest, you give away a little bit of your power, you make things a little bit too obvious, you kill some of the sexual tension. And that's where disqualification comes in. Disqualifying is you escalate, or disqualifying intermittently throughout the reaction while also escalating. They don't have to happen at the same time, but as long as you have a mix of both, then now it's not so obvious. All right? Now you're free to escalate. Now you're free to push things forward without having to worry, is this giving away your power? Without having to worry about being bored with the girl or in the foregone conclusion, not a win for her. That's the purpose of the disqualified. The purpose of the disqualifier is to allow you to escalate without giving your power away. And all the different examples that we did. All through that in different ways. Now, there's a really interesting question that came up interestingly on my Facebook group. There's a really interesting question. I hadn't really thought about it before, but somebody asked me, is this even qualifying? Are you disqualifying yourself or are you disqualifying the girl? The answer to that simultaneously both are real. Yes, you could be disqualifying yourself. Yes, you could be disqualifying the girl. But that's not the point. The point isn't which one you're disqualifying, at least in the sense of why you're using the disqualifier. The point is to lessen the tension, or lessen the sort of sexual neediness, or the fact that when you're escalating, it's such an obviously sexual move. That's the point of it. The point is to give some of that positive and negative spike mix on this list. So again, if you escalate and you push, it's very obvious and it makes you cringe. But if you go forward a little bit and you pull away, and you're like, wait, why did he pull away? Because he liked me, what's going on? Now it's interesting for her and she'll be much more receptive to the escalation. So in answer to that question, whether you're disqualifying yourself or you're disqualifying the girl, here's the actual answer. You're actually disqualifying the sex. You're indicating in some way that the sex may not happen. And by doing that, you open her up to be receptive to a lot of things without being slutty, without worrying about things, and without all that resistance to escalation. So what you're really disqualifying is the sex. And if you look at all of them, when you're naked girl, you're disqualifying it for sex. If you're teasing her, there's push-pull, there's a little sexual disqualification. If you say that I'm not boyfriend material, I have a small penis, you're disqualifying sex from happening. So that's the key idea of the disqualifier per se. Now the reason that there's a disqualifier, disqualifying yourself, disqualifying the girl, is that within the interaction there are value gaps. And you want to if you're high value, you don't want to be bringing lower value down. If you're kind of lower level, you want to get a value gap. You may want to bring some more value into it, be a little more harsh and a little more dismissive in order to establish that gap. So there's various forms of disqualifiers that establish that relationship between you and the girl. But the key idea is, regardless of what the value between you and the girl, what you're disqualifying is the act of sex, so that as you move towards the sex escalating, it's not obvious, so she doesn't know the end of the story, and you tie it into the plot line. It's one of the biggest things that's missing in almost everybody who's studying game. And everybody who studies game, almost you guys do disqualifiers, and one of the most powerful tools. So understand them and start using them. Now do 100 push-ups. I don't care if you got to break it up into 20s, and do 3 sets of leg lifts on your back. Lift your legs up 6 inches, and move with a range of motion and alternate legs and all shit. Do those 3 sets of leg lifts for 45 seconds. All right, kill it. Did I fucking leave that running? Yes, I did. So you do your fucking push-ups and shit. Okay? That's why I do it. So you get your body fucking tight. Because you're gonna need it. Because you're gonna be fucking all these hoes to sleep. And for you guys that are already fucking hoes to sleep, you're gonna be fucking hot of hoes. Hot of hoes. And hoes, of course, is an affectionate term I use for every woman ever because it gives them permission to be the sluts that they want to be. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it. I'm all for trying things again. I love doing things in multiples and giving things in multiples. Well, sounds like you're running into a lot of beta males who don't know that they have to create an attraction first by showing value and then work on building comfort before even thinking about trying to close. Something that would validate you. All you need to know about me is having sex with me. There's just one thing to know about me. All except for a couple of you on here. Having sex with me would be absolutely an act of validation for you. Alright. I'm all for killing things in multiples, trying things again. Alright. What you want to do is you want to find that sweet spot in game. It's the paradox in game, and there's many of them, and it's the reason why almost nobody gets in game. And this is something I rarely hear people talk about. I call this distinction hard game versus soft game. And the problem is this: in most areas where you want to learn something, if you do something and it works, you should do more of that thing. However, in game, that doesn't always work. That doesn't always hold the truth. The thing is, when you're being cold or harsh, doing things to get a big reaction. Things like nags, doing harsh takeaways, harsh disqualifiers are hard game. They're strong and they get you attention, and what they can do is they can get you in with a girl that's not paying attention to you when you at the time of day. These are the type of things they can do you're quote unquote not supposed to get. However, they're also try hard and they're also socially uncalibrated. So once that girl likes you and you continue to do hard game, you're very likely to make her like you or continue to stop liking you. Likely to come off as try hard and lose the thing you try to do in the first place. So as a hard game, they have a good reaction somewhere. They never seem to actually get laid. They never seem to actually get to go home. There's not confident genuineness in the game at all. On the other hand, you have soft game. This is way more nice and more socially calibrated. And if you happen to have a girl already like you, let's say you have a girl in math class that's crush on you, playing soft, nice game is actually the highest percentage way to get that girl to actually sleep with you or become your girlfriend. I fucked a girl I had in my math class so many times. I could have fucked her in high school. I went to fucking her when she was 23 and she went to MIT. The problem with soft game is for girls that didn't like you and weren't going to give you the time of day, all the soft game in the world is never going to get you on their fucking radar. It's never going to get them to like you. So on the one hand, hard game will get you the attention and the attraction, but it won't close for you. Soft game will close for you once things are going in your favor, at least most of the time. However, it won't get you in that position in the first place. And so guys who learn just soft game, they'll get decent results with girls that like them. And they'll get decent results with mediocre girls, but they won't get the high caliber girls that they really want. So what you want in the end, actually, is to know how to do both. And what you want is to learn to calibrate with hard game. I'll give you kind of a metaphor. Think of it as two different weapons. So on one hand, it's stupid, that's a hard game. It's hard to hit the target, but when you hit the target, you're going to fucking obliterate it. And you can handle like a really positive, strong target. On the other hand, if you have a sniper rifle, which has really good accuracy for the appropriate target, is absolutely the optimal weapon. But you start using that sniper rifle on a tank and you barely empty the shell. So what you want is to have in your arsenal the ability to have a powerful weapon, but at the same time you need to have control of it. At the same
Turn
time,
left onto Jones Street, then turn
with
left
just
onto
pure power,
Ferris
you'll
Street.
never learn control. With just pure control, you never learn power. So what you actually need to do is experiment with both. So guys do this. They get success with being soft, so they continue to be soft, so the success can never proceed to a
Take the
particular
next
level.
left onto
Other
Ferris
guys
Street.
get success with hard game, and the success doesn't actually lead to lays. They get frustrated, they give up, or they have inconsistent results in this massive number game. So what you want to have is actually the combination of the two. You need to learn hard and soft games. So you need to learn in your game, if you're getting results, and you have the style that is a soft game style. So you need to go out and get some blowouts. You need to get some rejections doing a hard game. You need to get some big reactions that you can't control. So the more powerful that something is, the more hard it is to control. If you have a very powerful game, you have
600
reactions,
feet, your
which
destination
means
will be on the
slow it down
left.
and get a little less addicted to the reactions and understand that game is not about getting the girls to scream and shriek and touch you. It's about actually getting laid, which requires some comfort and connection. And so I can tell you that almost every student that I see, they either have too soft for them or they have that I'm too hard problem. There's very few guys that have that combination, but the guys who are best at game actually do. So what should ideal game look like? What should the proper game look like? Here's what it should look like. It should look ironically mostly like soft game. It should look like a soft sort of finesse style approach as opposed to a power approach. However, you need to have the ability to do enough power moves to get you on her radar. So the idea is you do the power moves enough to get her to like you, and then you do about 90% of soft game. Soft finesse game from there, elegant. But with the ability to go ham in the paint and do a drop step and just fucking bully your way through, to snap back and throw in a power move when necessary. That's what it should look like. But fundamentally, with learning game, you need to experiment with both. Some of you are so fucking in your comfort zone, you'll never fucking stop out of it. My boy Asa was a bit like that. All he'd do is fucking soft game, and he did well enough at that he really never had a fucking reason to fucking try other shit,
Your destination is on the left.
you know? And see what else would fucking work for him. You know what I mean? Alright, good on those push-ups. Stop trying to make it work, stop trying to make it effort. It's impossible. Pull the victory. Alright. So. We'll talk about impossible game a little bit. You know what? So, if we're talking about the impossible to pull game. Now, obviously, in my associates know it's not impossible to pull. But the belief in the impossible mindset that it's impossible to pull is good for a number of reasons. Because it gets rid of your outcome attachment a little bit. It's good for not being pushy and not being try hard. And just being relaxed and letting the game come to you. There's also a phrase, stop trying to make it work, start trying to make it happen. So if it's impossible to interaction, your only victory is to make it epic and have a great interaction. So the funny thing is, by trying not to pull, you pull more. By telling yourself it's not even possible, you're gonna actually do the disqualification to yourself. You will. Might get in there, she likes you. Friends like you, she's not on a period, she doesn't have a boyfriend, you got the time and money, you went back to the road bus, the next day you're in Vegas, and you're hoping to hook up with her right there, and she's like, I like everything about you, even everything that's going on, but I'm not going to do everything with you just because I have standards or some shit. You can't make anybody do what you want to do. The number of times that everything went right, we're talking online, we're making out, we're talking about sex, and then nothing happened. That terrible, distressing, frustrating thing. It should happen when it doesn't. I don't care. I don't even pull tonight. I got a room at the fucking Encore in Vegas, and I just made a couple $1,000s this week. I've got a six-pack because I got to train. I give up. What the fuck? So I take one look at the girl, and I'm like, nothing's gonna happen. Is great. Who counts? Come here. Great, who cares? Come here. I'm going to try to kiss you. I'm going to dance with you. And I genuinely feel that. Because I'm so many annoyed with so many times that should happen when it doesn't. And there's really kind of cool psychology underlying there that you see a lot of times in movies. Especially movies that star chicks. A girl will do something because it's not expected of her. So, the football team, I'm going to join the football team because I'm a girl. You know, it's like Simpsons or whatever. And then the idea of you and she to hook up is so predictable that she doesn't want to do it. It's like almost like an arranged marriage. Almost felt like me by taking one look at her and say, you know what, I give up. This is perfect. We live in the same area. We're both fucking perfect for each other. Obviously, we're doomed to failure. Cool, let's get drunk and dance. Let's not even fucking try. I know things are very sensitive in this Harvey Weinstein era. That is, guys, you can't touch a girl, you can't look at a girl, you can't look at her eyes. You know, I heard a story from a girl in Berkeley, and she got a restraining order on a student for making too much eye contact. I heard that. Like, make eye contact. No, you'll get a restraining order, and you can't even get into college. It's just so fucked up shit. And what are you left with is an appreciation, love and appreciation, and really enjoy every moment of that girl's company. And that's often what girls are looking for. Girls are looking to feel appreciated and be admired and get into good company. And the truth is that you can't control a human being. You can't control if you're going to have sex with them or not on any level. Sometimes just take one of the girls you're fucking out and don't fuck her. Act like you're on your period. In terms of effectiveness, I love that philosophy because it works for me. on another level, it is factually wrong because it is possible to pull. We pull it all the time. I pull impossible girls all the time. Funny enough, the things that we're talking about is you could do those without having the philosophy. I'm peacocking. Yeah. You could disqualify sex just as a move. And to be fair, I do that. I disqualify sex a lot. But just the impossible game is a good amplification of that. Everything's perfect. We're in a Vegas scenario. But that used to actually happen to me in Vegas all the time until I moved to Vegas and adapted to Vegas game. And I did two things really strong. Which is one, I disqualified the fuck out of sex like 2 minutes in, I disqualify it. 2 minutes in when it's not even there yet. 2 minutes in is disqualification is a good way to fucking set frame for
Take
sex.
the next left onto Fury
And
Street.
mention anti-slut shame. Logistics, even beyond those things. I think the philosophy is good. You know, like in sales, maintenance of a positive attitude through a assumption of a positive result, you know? So take it like that. Maintenance of a positive attitude through assumption of a negative result. Say you're doing no sales, and you just assume that every knock on the door is going to be reaction. But it doesn't mean it means you never get it down on yourself when it is.
Continue on Fury Street for half a mile.
You know? Like, what are you left with when you sell the impossible game to yourself? Appreciation, love, appreciation, and enjoy every moment of that girl's company is to really appreciate and be admired and be in good company. And the truth is that you can control a human being. You can't control a human being. You can't control whether you're going to be in sex with them or not on any level. So, can I play a devil's advocate on many levels? I actually love that philosophy. In terms of effectiveness, I love that philosophy because it works. It's fucking effective as shit. On another level, though, it's factually wrong because it is possible. We do it all the time. That's right, we do it all the time. Oh, that's right. Funny enough, we do it enough that you could do those things without having the philosophy. For example, I'm peacocking. You could disqualify sex. It just is a move. I do it all the time, to be fair. You know, the story for me is, you know, that scenario that we're talking about where everything's perfect in a Vegas scenario that actually used to happen, you know. But I moved to Vegas and I learned that game, and it's good within 2 minutes in, disqualify using sex. It also sets framing. If you can sled an anti-slut shaming, disqualifying sex frame into it with you're the fun guy who won't get buttered and on his mindset, boom, you did it. And you don't even have to fucking show value because that's enough value already, you know, and anything on top of it's a cherry, you know, that philosophy. So, and who would have all that game and not have value? I mean, it's just this assumed you have fucking maintenance of a positive outcome by assumption of negative results. You just assume that every knock on the door to go sales is going to be a rejection. It doesn't mean you never get down on yourself. You always just go in with the idea that I'm going to do my best and I'm not going to think about whether or not this shit happens. So I love that philosophy in terms of, because it's worked for me, and what's really, really cool is if you're rolling around with this almost pessimistic, I can't control my own fate, but positive outlook nonetheless, when you do come across that really gorgeous, cute girls who in the demographic is statistically available and logistically it can do it, that's when the magic happens. And ironically, that's when you're also going to get the ones who aren't logistically available too. You've got to make the logistics work for you. But then they suddenly forget they have a boyfriend for you, you know. I love fucking things so good. Kind of things have happened. So even though it's impossible, it happened. Having the mindset that at the outset, because I know when I fuck them, they're gonna go back and fuck their boyfriend better, and that's my gift to their boyfriend. You know. The mindset is useful. The idea that it just happened, you're not trying to force it, definitely brings out a lot of things in your vibe. So even though it's literally false, it brings out a lot of positive fucking things in your vibe. still having that mindset that the only outcome is doing a good job rather than the result. The good thing is the more that you think about, the more that it reinforces in your head, hey, take on this, act this way, take on this behavior, and just be forceful with it because it's true. It gets deep and deep into your emotions. And it is true that it's impossible to force it to happen. It's impossible to make it happen. It is possible that it will happen by behavior. So, let's talk about screening. Screening is a huge part of a lot of guys' game. Successful advanced game guys' games, you know. So, some guys take on screening. Guys who've had a lot of experience with game and guys who get a good run, you'll have this you'll have this really negative reality that you have so many fucking carrots dangling in front of you within reach that all of them you can't have. So sometimes when you get very proficient in game and you're having a very good kind of momentum with the game and you're on fire, so to speak, every girl's gonna like you. But you also can't have every girl. It's just like all of them, you can't get them for whatever reason, logistics, maybe they're too drunk, whatever it might be, which is even more frustrating than being a guy who's very scarce with women and one girl out of five really likes you, because that's very positive reinforcing. Oh my god, one girl out of seven tonight liked me, I had a good night, and then a few guys had sex in Vegas, they all love me and I didn't pull, what the fuck. The way I phrase this sometimes is one of the biggest advanced mistakes is called pulling the wrong girl. If you pull the wrong girl, it's just not going to go down. Her friends take a lot of like and nothing wrong game wise. You just did something wrong strategically. One of the last things that I think I should get logistics. I want to enjoy the game to the best of my ability. So don't expect to. I approach these gorgeous girls, and it's going really well. And after about 5 minutes of it going well, I actually feel more comfortable around gorgeous girls. I say, oh my God, I know that you're not here for me. I know that you're here with your friends. I'll leave you be, and I'll back away. Can you imagine the look on the girl's face when you back away? Why? She wants her toy back because you're her fucking toy at that point. She wants it back. This is when you do a takeaway with a girl after a high note. After about 5 minutes, it reveals how she really felt when you walk away. Can you imagine that? You might think you're going really well with the girl and you walk away and you think, okay, good girl, good, and you can kind of read between the lines. Does she actually like you? How does she feel about you? How valuable is she? How likely is it you're going to be balls deep in her or not? So the takeaway is a huge screening reveal. And not only would I do that, the scarcity helps a lot. It builds value. I'd walk away and do a different set, or I'd bounce her onto fucking guys. A lot of times I'll fucking bounce chicks onto potential cock blockers. So we have the highest energy of the night, the sort of potential of the night. You're allowed to do takeaways up until the highest energy point of the night. If you're in Vegas, it's about 1 o'clock. It's about the high energy point of the night, even though the bars don't close. In San Francisco, it's going to be like 12:30, 12:45, where the bars close at 2. 12:30, 12:45. And once you're at the highest energy of the point, never walk away during the highest energy until you fucking balls deep in it. Otherwise, if it's 10, 11, 11:30, it's important to walk away as a screening mechanism. Then we run out of a whole lot of screening as well. It's good if you can wear some kind of your brand on your shirt, so even if you walk away and don't get her contact, she can look you up. Now, sometimes it's not going to happen, but you give them social proof of you give a lot of options to have those. My issue with the walking away thing, though, is that when I'm talking to the girl, there's less randomness involved. And so I can control the variables more. The girl's on, I can pull. And that goes to another philosophy, which some people agree with, is that the start of the night is not about warming up, but it's about building connections and having fun. But I like to fuck at the start of the night, and I like to fuck in the middle of the night, and I like to fuck at the end of the night. I like to pull before the end of the night. I very often pull the first or second girl I talk to in the night, early in the night, and I usually go back for a second. Oftentimes. is because I built it over time, and there was a high energy point within our interaction, not the night on a universal sense. So, that said, it obviously empirical, and the logistics of having the smut shuttle obviously is key. Being able to walk away from those early polls would have been a big mistake, especially because I usually go talk to the hottest girl first, so walk away. The reason I don't like that approach, that high energy late night approach, 12:30, 1:30, you walk away from that girl, she's fucking lost you because the club's so big and chaotic. In a smaller place, the walk away I like a little better because you might bump into her again. And even if you do bump into her again, you're just adding extra fucking chaos to the set. If my philosophy, but a lot of times you take away, you get to see what the fuck she thinks of you. If I'm just pulling a high girl, the highest percentage, I do like that, the frequency and screening, but I don't like it if I really do think this is the hottest girl and I really do connect with a particular girl. I'm much more inclined to stay in and mitigate the randomness. Randomness can be good though, because she might have fear of losing you. She also cares that you're bad and you might agree, take away within the set, for example, or just qualification that doesn't require completely leaving her always be within eyesight. You kind of like throwing it back in the masses without like really annoying and feminizing her. You also realize that this culture is different. Like for example, Sweden and Australia. In Australia, it's 18 and up, which is dictated, but their energy is much more injected into the fucking scene. Ours is 21 and up. So the 18, 19, 20 in the United States, that crowd, the college crowd, tend to be really attached to their friends too. And that's not so much the case in Melbourne because they're more integrated into society. You know, and the bars are 18 and up, so people don't live in their sororities and fraternities. In Australia, when you start at 18 and 19, it's exciting to meet people out of your bubble. In Australia, the college world is not allegiance to your friends. You can get into
600 feet, turn left onto Mission
very
Street.
matched up, very clicky, like the DIY scene in LA. When you get in, just target the guys before you target the girls.
Take the next left onto Mission Street, then your destination will be on the right.
So, I can definitely see the pros and cons and this impossible shit and the learning game, especially for doing the disqualification, lose contact, takeaway. It's to read her frame. It's a learning game too. It's a learning game in terms of screening. What I would say is I was screening very strong in a city like Vegas where I'm going for the one night stand, but I'll screen very, very little in a city where I want to follow up with a girl, because say in Vegas you might be very unlikely to see a girl and you don't want to spend all night with this glorious, gorgeous girl. That's logistically impossible, because what the fuck was the point? I want to be balls deep. And sometimes you're going to be tempted to think, oh, she's hot enough so that it's fucking worth it. And sometimes, but that'd be more so in my hometown. If I hang out with her all night, logistically impossible. But if I can follow up with her, but if she's some married chick who's just here on a business trip, you know, you screen for logistics in your hometown very, very little, you know. And if your hometown, you have other girls that you can see at the drop of a hat. Whereas if you're on vacation in Vegas in a crazy environment, that's where you actually screen. You screen from the first minute, even before she hardly likes you. Now do 100 push-ups and 3 sets of leg lifts for 45 fucking seconds. All right, leg lifts on your back. Do it. Do it. Shut it the fuck up. Just do it. I'm your personal trainer. I'm your personal trainer. Send me some fucking money for getting you laid, bitch. Okay? Do it. Just do it. Do it. You know.